I mean, y'all have kids and y'all are obviously going to potentially date a man that doesn't have kids or might be. What do you think about that?
I think you're just limiting your choices in women. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to date a woman without kids, you're limiting your choice. So that's your prerogative. That's what you want. Cool. You know what I mean?
What?
But then it is. You limiting your choices. There's more women with kids than there are women without kids.
That's true.
We gotta do
From my
statistics.
from my
Just ask ChatGPT.
You can.
from my experience,
What you
so
say
my
you
experience
lost?
with listen, hold on. With my experience from asking men, because I've had asked this men this question: do you prefer to date a woman with children or not? There are some men who prefer to date a woman with children who don't have it because they want to see the motherly duties to see if that's going to be the potential person they want to have kids with, and vice versa.
Agreed.
You have, and it's okay that a man don't want to date a woman with kids, and he might want to
Agreed.
build with her and have his kid with her. They're both single, no kids, and create that. But again, as I explained, some men want to see the motherly side of a woman. Is this the type of person I could see myself with? I already know how she's raising her kid. It might be one, two kids, however many kids, that's on him. You have some men that just are accepting, if I'm saying that right, accepts it for what it is, and you got some that don't, and vice versa. When I didn't have a kid, I did date a man who already had two kids. And people used to be like, well, Nina, why would you date a man who got kids and you don't have kids? I see him taking care of them financially. He's stable with them. He had them every weekend, every summer, and they were in a different state. And
Mm.
I like the nurturing. I like the fatherly side because I grew up in a two-parent household. So to see that, I didn't see it as a problem. And I bonded with those kids. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a problem for me. And but we remained friends. We didn't have no differences or nothing like that. It also taught me how I could be as a mother. Even though he was a guy raising his kid, it kind of prepared me when I have my own kids what to look forward to. So it just all depends on that person and what they choose. And there's nothing wrong with that. If a man don't want a woman with kids, that's totally fine. That's on you. But like Khadijah explained, there are more women with kids than without. And you're starting to see a lot of men, single fathers raising their kids because some of these mothers ain't shit. So,
Woo!
and you know, because I'm not going to say it's a lot of deadbeat fathers, it's a lot of deadbeat mothers too. You know what I mean? So,
You can
and it
come back.
also, and sometimes it just depends on how you're raised in the household too, because you got some men or women raised in a single parent household, and some people don't even want to have kids because they don't want to put their future children in the situation they went through. So it's all in how you were raised.
We talked about this, and I'm curious to ask y'all. Coming in as a man without kids, and we're in a relationship. We're Sam. When you gave this example, was the man married to the woman? When you asked about who had the disciplinary position,
If a woman got kids, she meet a man who ain't got a kid, and he's at home with him, she at work, and the kid messed something up. He whooped their ass. How do you feel when you get home?
Was there a conversation that was had
No, I'm just saying.
prior to like
How,
disciplining
how
them, or what was
I,
the
I I
I need
mean,
more context.
okay, y'all live together. Y'all not married. You got kids. He don't. He's paying whatever, half, over half, whatever he's paying. You at work. He at home. He done watched the kids before, so it got to be some trust there. So all the questions you have, I don't know, but
Well, it was just one
they
question. Was
mess
there
up.
a conversation about disciplining?
I I can't answer that because I feel a certain way about it, so I can't answer that question.
I'm going to
how would
chime
you
in.
feel? Would you feel that the man is?
Okay,
Do you feel
no,
the man has the right to have the discipline because he's
No.
treating it like his child?
I'm
That's
going to say physically, when it comes
Physically,
to
no.
no, but I feel like transparency at the beginning. If you're coming into a relationship with a woman that have kids, there has to be respect. It got to be some type of rapport. It can't be just no. He been around for a month or two. It got to be some rapport in the relationship. They got to been together for some time, and there is an
okay,
agreement. Let me finish, please.
go ahead, go ahead.
Like to where I'm like, okay, this is the man of the household. He's paying the bills. And even if he wasn't paying the bills, he's the man of the household. We're in a relationship. I feel like he does have a right to discipline. However, putting your hands on my kids, that's a no. Now, if I was a single parent, father wasn't involved, and he's helping me raise this kid, and you become a father figure, maybe. But it just depends because I don't put my hands on my kids just for the simple fact I'm heavy handed. I discipline If I tell him, look, make them kids go and do some wall sit, that's a discipline. And I'm telling you that because my girls have a different dad than my boys. So me and my girl's father was together, and he would discipline all of them the same. And so instead of him putting his hands on my boys, he would whoop my girls, but he would treat the boys differently by making them do wall sits with cans and books. And I was okay with that because he felt like, yes, I'm the man of the house, but I'm not gonna put their hands on them because they do got their own father. You get what I'm saying? So
So
it
when
just
he come
depends.
to the crib and bring McDonald's for just his kids, how
He was
how
he
he gonna
wasn't
feel then?
he
That
never
ain't
would do that though.
discipline.
That's one thing he would never do.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
And
hey,
if you
I'm
got a man,
hearing
if
it
you
hey,
got
do
a
that.
man like
I
that,
get your point.
you
I
got a
get
little
your point.
boy. You got a little boy if you dealing with somebody like that.
I get your point, Tyrone, but I can kind of get your point. But at the same time, I'm a man. I meet this woman. The kid's father not in their life. He's not paying child support. He don't give a fuck if you got a piece of bread or not in your refrigerator. I step in, I'm doing this. I'm doing all these things. I say, I don't want nobody to touch this thing over here. It's very important to me. And your kid go over there and break my shit. I pull off my bed, hit him on his ass 3-4 times. You gonna go crazy on me? Because, and then you say, well, this and that. I'll be like, well, you know what? Everything I have done from this point on, you go tell that kid daddy to come replace me because I cannot provide and protect and don't discipline. I can't do that. I can't show this boy how to be a man by letting him slide and say, okay, mama gonna take this because you can't touch me. That man got to deal with too much at that point.
Right.
He got to deal with too much. My kid, if I bring a woman into my house and he fuck up, she whoop his ass, I ain't got nothing to say. I might ask, hey, what happened? He did this. Did you do that? Yeah, okay. It's fine with me. It's cool. But I'm not going to stop. When you with somebody, married, you're one. Don't nothing come before that person. Nothing. Because you won. Your kids grow up, they go out and find they one. They still gonna love you and care about you, but you gonna be important. But not as more important as that one. So for a woman to say, okay, I'm gonna get this man, I'm gonna use his resources, I'm gonna do all that, but you ain't gonna touch my motherfucking kid, and the daddy ain't nowhere around, I think that's total disrespect to that man. That's the part I agree with O on. He been a total fucking simp at that point. Like you giving everything you got to this woman and her kid, but you can't whoop his ass if he break your shit. But if it was your kid, if it was my kid, I'm whooping his ass. But because that's not my kid, no, nothing physical.
That's where it goes back to transparency at the beginning of the relationship.
With that
A conversation got to be had.
You jumped into a relationship. There was no trust in the beginning. And you talking about transparency. That's what I tell my son right now today. I say, hey, you can't learn to have a friend in 2-3 weeks. It takes time. So if you get with this man with your kids, huh?
No, you good. Go ahead. I was going to ask a follow-up question
with your kids. Go ahead. Cause I'm probably doing a repetition now. I'm probably repeating the same thing. Just
what I was going to say is, so let's say that the conversation happens, because I agree. I think like there should be a conversation, but I think that if I'm expected to provide, to be the father figure, if discipline is what I think deemed necessary, right? I think I have the right or the decision making power to that. Now, yes, a conversation 100%, I think, should be had, because I don't think you just go beating on people, kids, whatever, right?
Or
Because
just
naturally,
and not have that
nobody beating on my
conversation.
damn kid. My
No,
wife ain't
facts.
beating on my kid.
I'm saying
Shit.
naturally though, naturally you will know they're not your kids, period. Like you always know that. But I think sometimes the difference between men and women with children is the woman is always going to be that nurture, like, you can't touch my kid, like that, they're off limits. But that puts a limitation on the relationship with a man that is trying to be the man. And I believe, just from that standpoint, because is the kid gonna respect that man like he
If the
should
mama
as the
don't.
father figure, if it feels like the mother doesn't respect him enough to
Right.
allow him that discipline
Right.
position?